I can clap it up. Okay, I'm the Commander General. Understand, started out of 1969 out of Northwest 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Understand, this Tuesday, Isupk during Brotherhood class. I'm gonna get it rocking here in a second. Alright, we live. Y'all go make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, share the videos. Any viewers watching live, if you got any questions or comments, just type it in the chat. Anybody in the room, if you got any questions, any comments, anything you want to say, you understand, just raise your hand and be called on. We're going to get it rocking like that. Everything done with order, decency, in the home of the truth. You understand, unlike the Christian church, unlike the Muslim mosque, everything done in here is done with brotherhood. That's why this class is very important and very vital. Understand, for the stability of the nation of Israel. You understand? This is vital to have for any group of people, for any group of people, any race of people, any organization to have brotherhood. But it is so important for the stability of that nation or group or organization, because of course without stability, you understand, it won't last. Right. Just like the what was it, the Islamic nation, what they call themselves, that one, what is it, 1950s, 1960s? Islam, that's what they call it, the Nation of Islam. You understand? The Black Panthers, you understand? Any group that you see that has came up that, sought to have a just cause to, gather together, with blacks to, of course, come and fight against this man that's been oppressing us in America for 400 years. They came together, though they may have had, you understand, appealing ideas for blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. They lacked one thing, and that's because the Lord was not with them. That's right. And in return, the Lord proved that he was not with them by them not knowing or being taught, true brotherhood, or what it means to actually love your people, like we are taught in the Isupk under Commander General. You understand? But today we're gonna dive into that. We're gonna teach, you understand? We're gonna teach what's not being taught in the Christian church. We're gonna teach what's not being taught in the Muslim mosque. You understand? We're gonna teach you something that your parents cannot teach you. You understand? And that's how to love your people and love your people first, man, and love your people accordingly. You understand? Because we grow up in, in the Christian church. We grow up in the Muslim mosque. We grow up in bad neighborhoods or rural areas, inner city boys, suburb living boys, wherever we grow up here in America. You understand? We grow up to a point where we think that we know everything. Right. We get to a certain point of age where we think that, we've succumbed a lot or, have outgrown the knowledge that's out there that the Lord has to offer us. That's why you see a lot of brothers and sisters who don't even really attend the church. You understand? Because there's not something more out here for us to learn. You understand? You've learned how to survive the streets. You've learned how to join a gang. You've learned about the benefits and the consequences of using drugs. You've learned about school. You think you've learned a lot, understand? And the truth is you haven't learned a damn thing. Right. You understand that actually matters. And one of those things you're going to learn today is how to love your brother. You understand how to be a brother to your brother. So if I could, one of you brothers, get me Proverbs 16:32. We're gonna start there. You understand? Because this is a play that goes on in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian community because of how fiery of a nation we are. You understand that? You all understand what it means to be black in America. You understand? To be a hoodlum, to be a gangbanger. You understand? This is what it means to be a Tookie William. Who could tell me what it means to be black in America? Other than to be a slave, but black people are naturally what? What sets us differently than white people? What sets us differently in the high school than Chinese people or any other people? We different than them. Are you scared of white boys in school? Are you scared of the Chinese boys? Is the Chinese boys the ones that's bullying you? It's the white boys that's bullying you? Who is it? Who's usually the big bad bully? And don't think of no everybody hates Chris. That was a lie. You understand? If you ever seen that show, that was a bona fide lie. It was not no whoop. Hey, Thought Boy, you know who that boy was? His name was? Or everybody hates Chris? Thought One. See if he stepped outside. You understand? That was a lie, man. Ain't no white boy gonna run around and terrorize black people. What was his name? Caruso. Yeah, man. Caruso. That's not true, man. That's not true. That's a rare instance. That's a rare case where the bully is of black people is some white man, man. That's what they want him to be. But we know in actuality, the people that the students are scared of, the ones that's causing the most trouble, is black people, man. We the ones want to jump each other. We the ones want to fight in the stairwell. We the ones that want to meet in the parking lot at 3 o'clock. We the ones want to cause all the static in the cafeteria. We the ones that start the food fights. We the ones that's cursing out the teachers and cursing out the principals. You understand? We the ones that got so much anger inside of us, man. And it's natural coming from oppression over 400 years of slavery, man. But we got to learn how to kindle that fire. What you got to?
Yeah, Proverbs 16:2.
Proverbs 16 and 32. You understand? We got to learn to kindle that fire so that we can grow as a nation. You understand? Because this is part of having a stable nation. This is part of keeping what we're building here today. You understand? And not letting it just get destroyed like everything. You understand? Black people seek out to build here. What does that mean? If someone is slow to anger, what does that mean?
Calm and patient.
A calm and patient, yeah, but give me more detail on it. Someone that's slow to anger. Yeah, man.
They get angry less of the time.
Use the words that's in the scripture. You own it. You close to it. But a man that's slow to anger is what? Nobody? How many of you got the hot head in your classroom, or know the hot boy in your neighborhood? They're both always ready to pop off, always ready to jump. You understand? And if you get any given moment, any given time, he ready to just go off the gun. You understand? How many of you? Top one, you know? You understand? You know? You got that man, you understand? He ready to jump at any given point in time. You understand? The Rod Pod said they take longer to get upset. You understand? That's exactly what that means, man. You understand? It takes a lot for you to get this person to jump that gun. You understand? He's not quick to anger. You understand? He's slow to anger. You understand? You step on his shoes, he not ready to pull out the Glock 9 and the sawed off and take your head off.
Right.
You understand? You step on his shoes, he just take a deep breath. You understand? He's no sweat, bro.
Right.
No sweat. He see you in the club and you stand at his girl. You understand? He not ready to just, pop off and tell you come outside. He like, no sweat, brother. It ain't even worth it. You understand? And a lot of times in black communities, we say that, that brother's weak.
Right.
You understand? That brother is just a punk. He just scared of everything, man. But of course, in here, we know that that's the brother that you don't want to deal with because it's easy to pop off. You understand? It's easy to act like a woman. You understand? That's what a woman does. The woman see that you're doing something wrong. What's the first thing she do? First thing your mother want to do.
Yeah.
She want to do what?
Yeah.
She want to yell. Don't be scared to say it. You can say it in here. You understand? The truth lies in here, man. We're gonna bring it out. You understand? But the first thing she want to do, she want to pop off and yell and run her mouth. You understand? And just call you all kinds of names because that's what a woman does. But a woman is naturally emotional, man.
Right.
That's what she is. That don't make it right. That don't mean that a woman should be popping off and running her mouth because she quick to anger. You understand? But that also means that you damn sure you should look at that and you should say, I should never want to be that. You understand? I should never want to be like a woman. I should never want to do it. Because you, of course, are what? You're a man. You understand? And then for a woman, a sister should look at those examples of women doing that and should say, you know what? I don't want to be like that woman. You understand? I want to be like a woman of God. I want to be like a sister, you know, in the truth. I don't want to be like Bad Girls Club and Hoochie Mama and pregnant by 16 different baby fathers. I don't want to be that. You understand? I want to have a king, man, that can rule over me for the rest of my life. And I ain't got to worry about, you understand, all this nonsense and drama that, you know, I see my sisters in the world going through. You understand? Thought Smart, what you got?
So I was going to ask, so go ahead and look at that, a breakdown of being slow to anger. But is it that brother who he could get angry, you know what I'm saying? He could fly off the deep end, but he's able to, his gift is the ability to control himself. Like he knows what could go off, but he's like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Right, like the brother who's slow to anger, he practices his patience.
He
He practices holding what, like a brother, like how many of y'all seen Power? How many of y'all watch Power? You understand, with Ghost and Tommy? Y'all know Ghost and Tommy trying to kill each other. You know, Ghost set up Tommy, you understand, and made Tommy kill his own father. Ghost set up Tommy and literally made Tommy shoot a car up. But Tommy thought it was somebody else in the car, and the whole time Tommy's shooting his own dad dead. You understand? And then Tommy killed Ghost's first love. You understand? So at this point, they hate each other, man. Like they want to kill each other. Like they want to behead one another, man. But even though it's a TV show and it's fake, and I doubt that they have this type of discipline, because this type of discipline only comes in the truth and Isupk.
That's right.
But it's definitely fake. But you understand, but the discipline that they show, portray in that movie is what I'm talking about. Where they can know that this man who was in the same building as me, who just made me kill my father, he's in here, and I got a gun on me. But I'm going to look at him, and he's going to look at me, and we won't kill each other. We won't. You know why they won't? Who can tell me why?
Yeah, discipline.
They have discipline, but what am I looking for? Think about the scripture that we just read. Sis?
You said it was slow to anger?
They're slow to anger. You understand? They not so quick to pop off. They not so quick. They what you would be called not emotional. You understand? Two women who was fighting on Instagram over some dude, they could not be in the same room together. They couldn't be in the Super Bowl together. If they was in the Super Bowl and one of them got binoculars and scanning through the crowd and seeing,
Right.
that's that right there. No, man, no. The men is like, yo, man, calm down. We at the game, man.
Right.
30 seconds left, man. She ready to go all the way across. She gonna walk all the way across.
Right.
She gonna walk all the way down them steps. You understand? Somehow keep focused. I don't know if you ever walked on them steps before, man. I can't focus on them shit. I'll be ready to trip. I'll be like focused, like, yo, talk to me. Hold on. Legs be shaking. I'm like, yo, let me get down these goddamn bleachers first.
Right.
But she'll be ready to go down there and just pop off, man, instead of having wisdom. And you know what that would cause her? For one, it caused her to get thrown out. For two, it caused her to go to jail.
Right.
You understand? Because she wasn't disciplined. She wasn't slowing to anger. Now, of course, Tommy and Ghost, they was not emotional for different reasons. Like they still was gonna kill each other, which is not what we're teaching them here. But the fact that they had that anger inside of them and was able to kindle that, there was at some points in the show where they had to be together, where they had to. Like either whether they had to shake hands and take pictures for the mayor, or they had to fight together to save their nephew. They had to work together, even though they wanted to kill each other. You understand? That's the type of discipline that you have to show as a man. That don't mean that you're not gonna handle your business. You understand? Don't get it twisted. That don't mean that business will not get handled, but everything has a time, everything has a place. You understand that? And that's what we're going to read that from the top, bro.
He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty.
No, read it from the top. Tell them where you at, and then read it from the top.
Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty.
It's better than who?
The mighty.
He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. Who is the mighty? What you got, young man?
The strongest person.
And that's what mighty means, but give it to me straight. Give it to me straight now. You understand? They say the Commander General Yohana is the most what? He's the most controversial man on earth. The teachings that we teach is the most controversial shit. You understand? You believe that the strongest person on earth is the mighty. But the scripture is telling you otherwise. The scripture is telling you that it's better to not be the mighty. Who's the mighty? The mighty is the one who is quick to anger.
Right.
That's the mighty. That's the one. You look at the story with King David. When King David was about to be picked, they had to look at all of his brothers, and what was they looking for? They was looking for the mighty, the one who looked mean, the one who looked like he was about to pop off.
That's right.
You understand the owl pole.
Right.
You understand the rich porters. But who survived that whole thing? AZ, the one who was slow to anger, the one who knew Alpo killed his best friend and didn't do nothing, even in the movie. You understand? The one who had his best friend's murderer face to face again in the movie. This is not real. Well, you understand? I don't know how real the movie showed this part, but in the movie has his best friend's murderer face to face with him and lives a lifestyle of gunning and running. He's in this lifestyle in Harlem back in the day where, you know, if there was anybody else, they would have shot him right there and took off. Right. But he had enough discipline to say, you know what? No sweat. You understand? I'm going to live to be 60-something years old. I won't, make this decision, you understand, because I'm emotional about my friend being killed. That's going to end up get me up in prison for 25 to life. Right. I'm not going to do that. You understand? So AZ is well off now. AZ is out living his life, then made his movie, then went out, started a record label. How well it did, but he did it. He left a legacy for himself. People speak about his name now. You understand? Because he wasn't so goddamn emotional. The mighty is Rich Porter. The mighty is Alpo. Right. You understand? Those were the men everybody was scared of. Right. You understand? What's the other dude name from DC? What's his name? Whatever his name is, Scarface. It don't matter who you want to think about. Every brother, every movie, every gangster movie you ever, Benny Siegel, every gangster movie you ever looked at and you say, oh man, that's the nigga. They always end up dead or in prison. Right. You understand? When the scriptures are saying that it's better to be slow to anger. Right. You understand? You'll be better than that mighty man. And in all actuality, that man that's slow to anger is mightier than every man that's so quick to, to pop off, man. Usually the one that's quick to run his mouth is the one that, you understand, usually get busted in it. Right. You understand? That's usually the one. The one ready to flex his muscle, show his guns. That's always been the dumbest dude in the party to show your gun. I'll be like, well, I know your dumb ass got a Glock, so you only got 6 shots. You understand? Like you so dumb. You understand? I know exactly what you got. You got 1 gun. You got 6 bullets. You understand? It's rusty. So I know what you got. So I know if I'm running away from you, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I come back out. I come right back out. He's sitting there running his mouth, and I'm just walking up to him. Hey, you dumb ass. Hey, you should have let me believe you had a 100 clip. Right. You would have let me believe that. I was been taking off running still. You understand? But that's why it's better to use your head, man. Right. It's better to be smart, man. Be the smartest man in the room at all times. Just like I was saying, it was Wayne Perry. Wayne Perry, you understand? Where he at now? Locked up still? Man, in hell. You understand? In some cell, you understand, fending for his life every goddamn day. You understand? Because he wanted to be quick to anger. He didn't use his judgment. And you know that these people who we naming today, you understand, would attest to this, because most gangsters who luckily, no, Lord allowed, makes it, does their time in prison, comes out and is about 76 years old now or 60-something years old now out in the streets, they'll tell you what, man, young blood, man, that was stupid, man. I won't using my head, man. I can't even breathe the same, man. I got shot 6 times, man. You don't want to be like, they'll tell you this. But back then, they wouldn't tell you that. You understand? They wanted to be the mighty. You understand that? You wanted to be Goliath, you understand? So you died the death of a Goliath.
That's right.
You understand? I want to live the life of a David. You understand? Someone that's humble. And David was the goddamn most mightiest king ever. You understand that? And he walked around with a goddamn slingshot to kill Goliath, man. But read that one more time.
Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty.
Shemar, you can see me one time. Keep going.
And he that ruleth his spirit.
He that ruleth his spirit. What does that mean? So I'm going to break that down. A man that can rule his spirit. And here we teach that you should rule your wife, right? You can, young man, Jada, if you need to, you can use your cell phone for right now. If it'll make it easier for you to navigate through the Bible, you'll get to learning how to use that. You understand? As you continue on in the classrooms. All right. Right now, you want to make sure you're taking mental notes. Also, for the young man, you understand this is a class, man, and this knowledge that is taught here is not just for the faint-hearted, and it's not just to be, you understand, just heard and not used. That's why the school is called universal practical knowledge. It's practical knowledge for you to use it out here in the world. You understand? If you take the stuff that you use in here, you learn in here, and you apply it to your everyday life out there, and that is what will keep you from falling victim to the white man or any devices that the devil will set up for you to die.
That's right.
So, with that being said, you want to take mental notes, but sometimes you want to take notes, man. You get a pen and paper. You understand? Shoulder, like, you got to remember, man, it's not, you got to treat these classes like General Mahyman was up here. You got to treat these classes like Count Tazariak was up here. And you damn sure got to treat these classes like the Most High is looking. Right. And the Most High got places, man. The Most High got crowns for y'all heads, man. And he want to see who deserving of these crowns, man. So you got, some brothers who just, just come to class and just listen. You understand this look? But then you got other brothers who got a pen and paper. You got other brothers who's taking notes because they really want to get it. They really want to learn. That's the one the Most High going to say, you know what? I'm going to deal with him. I'm going to deal with that brother. That brother becomes Captain Tazaria. Right. Understand? That brother becomes Captain Akkad and all these brothers that, we all look up to here in the truth. You understand? As men above us. So you just want to keep that in mind too, man. So take these notes back because don't think that what you learn in here you won't be tested on. Don't think that it won't happen. That's how the Lord works. It'll be the same shit that you learn in class. You're going to go to school. You're going to go to your slave. And you're going to come back to the next class like, Officer Yermont, let me tell you something. As soon as you just had that class on about not being angry, tell me why one of the sisters at my slave came and tried me. And all I could think about was Proverbs 16 and 32 and how you taught that, I shouldn't be like them other sisters, man. So you know what I did? I shut my damn mouth and I let her have it, man. And I went to seek counsel before I did anything. You understand? That's how these classes got to work. That's how you'll be able to be a giant or be, you understand, above all the rest of the nations and all the rest of these people out here in the world. You understand? This is the best weapon and the best tool you can use to do that. You understand? So read that one more time, brother.
Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32. Mm-hmm. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. And he that ruleth his spirit.
He that ruleth his spirit. What does that mean? If you rule, okay, how many of y'all got pets or had pets before? You rule your pet, right? What you had? What kind of pet you had?
Shih Tzu.
A dog?
Yeah.
What kind of pet you had? A pit bull? You had a pet, sis?
Dog.
A dog? Okay. You ruled your pets, which means you did what?
Control them.
You controlled it. You understand? You taught it what to do, what not to do. You understand? You checked it when it was getting out of line. You understand? You fed it. You understand? You gave it water. You control everything that pet did. So the scripture is saying, you understand, because you ruled over that pet. So the scripture is saying you got rule over your spirit. What is that saying?
Control how you feel.
Not control how you feel. Remember this. These scriptures, this is not going to change how you feel about things. You understand? That'll be like just that's just gay. You understand? Like it's more stronger for a man to still feel the same way, but just not react to it. You understand? The same way he would or usually would react. You understand? So it won't change. You don't feel a different way. You do what?
Act on it in a different way. Like.
Right. You act on a different way. Like controlling your spirit just means, man, like
means disciplining yourself.
Exactly. Give her a hand. You understand? That's the word that you're gonna have to tattoo. You understand? You're gonna have to spiritually tattoo that into your brains, especially being a brother. Matter of fact, not even just being a brother in the truth, man. Being a brother, never slack you. Forget that. You understand? Forget I said that. Scratch that. Women included. You understand? You got to tattoo discipline on your brain, man, because I'm telling you, like, you understand, like, the truth is not all about rainbows and sunshines. You get a man of the Lord in here, it's gonna be hell. You understand? It's glorious at the end of the day. You understand? It's not gonna be the same hell, like out up in your basement, or you understand, or getting beat on, or all the type of nonsense having some dude, smoking crack inside your house and sleep. It ain't gonna be that kind of hell, but it's gonna be work. And to be in here, man, to be a man or a sister in here, it requires a lot of discipline, man. And that discipline, man, is controlling your spirit. Controlling that demon, that thing that want to tell you to jump off. Man, I want to curse this. That thing where your man is out and you like, he coming home and you like, man, I'm gonna curse his ass out, man. I ain't cooking nothing. You understand? I ain't doing nothing, leaving the dishes in the sink. You understand? When he curse, I'm dumb. You just mad at him. You ready to go off the wall as soon as he come through the door. You understand? That thing that, makes you feel that way, that's that dog that's barking too goddamn much.
Right.
That's that dog that just won't sit down. You understand? It just won't go in the goddamn cage. And you got to rule over that thing. You understand? You got to rule over that spirit. You got to tell that spirit, you can shut up. You understand? Like, you know what? Whatever my husband did ain't got shit to do, so like for my language, with these goddamn dishes in the sink. Whatever my husband did ain't got nothing to do with food not being made. Or me doing what I was gonna do when I was happy should still be done. You understand? Or same thing for a brother. You understand? You shouldn't say, what, I'm mad, man. I'm going through a lot, man. I ain't gonna go to class. I'm gonna make some goddamn excuse why I shouldn't be in class or I shouldn't go to camp. But man, my feet hurt, man, so I ain't gonna wear my boots. You understand? You got control them things, them little things and them big things that just make you want to do something that's not right. You understand? That's not sanctioned according to the Lord, and damn sure them things that make you want to sin against the Lord. You understand? Them things gonna come very heavy, man, because that's Satan telling you. But you understand, to control your spirit, man, is just control your actions, dog. You understand? You're gonna feel certain type of ways. Number one, I'm sure you get angry all the time. I'm sure people in your life do things and you just don't understand why they do it. You understand? You just be like, damn, man, if I was in the world, curse this job right now. You understand? But of course, being in here, you understand, it's not every time, you understand, your rib do something that get on your nerve, you got to curse her out. You understand? It's not every time. It's not every time, your dog do something that you got to whoop him or beat him. It's not every time your child do something that you got to go upside their head. It's not every time for that. There's a time and a place for everything, man. And you got to control your spirits because your spirit will tell you that you should whoop the hell out of that child every time it cry. You understand? Every time it whine or do something you don't like, that demon in you is going to tell you to whoop the hell out of this thing. You understand? And those are the things, you understand, that have brothers out here whipping on their women. And that's just not right, man. And that's, of course, not taught in the Israelite school, UPK. You understand? Keep reading.
Then he got taken for sinning.
Read it from Rule of His Spirit.
and he that ruleth his spirit
Mhm.
than he that taketh the city.
This is the type of man that will control. This was the type of man that'll take over Durham. This would be the type of man that'll take over Snow Hill. This would be the type of brother who would take over his basketball team. The type of man who will lead his football team. This will be the type of man who will, you understand, have, everybody looking up to you. You understand? This is the type of man that will take over cities, man. Whole cities. Will have the city trembling when you walk by, not because you're the mighty man, but because you're a leader, man. Because you know how to control yourself. You understand? But that don't mean, of course, that don't mean that, like I said, business don't get handled. There's just a time and a place for everything. So drop that. Give me good night. Get me Ecclesiastes 7:7. You understand? I like to say this a lot because, there's going to be times where you should get angry. There's going to be times where you should be mad. There's going to be times where you should smack the hell out of your child. You understand? Not in the face. You understand? I'm not telling you how to punish your children. You understand? I'm just saying. Just spank them on the behind if that make you comfortable. But there's a time where you got to smack the hell out your dog. You understand? In the face. But there's a time for everything, man. You understand? And this is a time for black people in America to especially be mad, man, but definitely not at one another, but at the oppression, man, that the white man has put on us, you understand, for 400 years. There's definitely a time for you to be mad about that. You understand? We get mad at everything else. We get mad at black people. We get mad at the Hispanic. We get mad at every other goddamn thing. But when it comes to being mad at the white man for oppression, we want to love him. We want to give him all of our love. We want to be friends with him in high school. You understand? Like you just got to do it. You just got to have that white friend. You understand? It used to be black people. White people who just had to have that one black friend. They're just the one. Now we got to have that white friend. We have to be a little bit more culturally diverse. We got to be a little bit more accepting. We got to agree with LBGT. We have to agree with transgenders. We have to let people do and live life the way they want to live life. You understand? When that's bull crap. That's nonsense according to the Lord. You don't never have to do that, man, because you're not living in your kingdom. You understand? Not only are you not living in your kingdom, but you dying by the hands of someone else's. You understand that? We're not living here comfortably. We're not living here peacefully with the white man or with the Chinese man or with the Arabian, the Middle Eastern man. We're not living lavishly. You understand? We living in tormentation, man. We living in hell. We living in ends deep, man, here. We at the bottom of the goddamn sea fighting in them trenches with them goddamn monsters that we don't know the names of every day. You understand? White people coming out with new ways to destroy us, coming out with sound wave guns, whatever the hell that is, to kill us. You understand? It's damn sure not to kill each other. They get it here to kill their enemies, man. And like the Bible say, we've always been their enemy. You understand? Since we was in the room with them, we've been their enemy. So when they come up with these devices, man, and these tactics, and they counsel with each other to destroy people, they counsel and destroy you. You understand? So that love you got for your friend, you understand, just because he's a good white man, of course. Of course, he'll never grow up and shoot up a school. Of course, he just won't. You understand? Your white man, of course, will grow up, create Apple and make you a billionaire. It won't happen. You understand? He'll create Apple and he'll make his people millionaires. Right. You understand? He'll make his family rich and he'll continue to oppress yours. You understand that? Read that from the top.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Mm-hmm. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad.
Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad. You understand? It was how many years before the so-called Jewish people wouldn't even buy German cars? They wouldn't even buy them because of the so-called Holocaust. because Hitler went over there and committed a treacherous act to them so-called white people who call themselves Jewish. You understand? Still our identity, killing 6 million of them. You understand? The Jewish man knew what it meant to be wise enough. You understand? To love his people. You know, the white man knows what it means to be wise enough to protect his own people. That's why they wouldn't even, there's some of them to this day won't buy German cars.
Right.
Some of them to this day will not buy a German car. You know damn well they're not standing up for some German national anthem. They're not doing it. They're not doing nothing German. Why? Because those people oppressed and killed and slaughtered, you understand, 6 million of their people, so they don't want nothing to do with them. They completely separate from the Germans. You understand that? That's wise of them.
Right.
That was very wise of them. It was smart for them to separate from the Germans so that their babies wouldn't have to die anymore. You understand? That's what the Lord counseled us to do, man. Read it again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad,
Mm-hmm.
and a gift destroys the heart.
Read it one more time.
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad,
Mm-hmm.
and a gift destroys the heart.
And the gift destroys the heart, man. That's all the things that Christians love to say that we got in America. That means that we can't hate white people. You understand? Because we got equal housing opportunities and we got equal education opportunities. And you understand? Your baby did. That's the gift that destroys the heart. You understand? Where you should be mad, you should be, because we don't have nationhood, we don't understand what it means to, like I said, to love one another so much and so that we will never forgive of people that killed our ancestors. Like if say if you know, say if somebody came in your house, 2:00 in the morning, and took your mother, you understand, and your sisters, raped them continuously, man, tied you up, watch your mother get raped continuously, your sisters get raped continuously by a mob of men. And then when they was done with them, they killed them right there in front of you and left you. What would it take for you to forgive them? You got them now on their knees and they tied up, and you can kill them. What would it take for you to let them go? How much money? What kind of forgiveness? What apology do you think would, be good enough for you to not want to kill them anymore? That's a question too. I want to answer. Yo, man, I'm gonna get you nothing. Why? I'm talking about you can have anything you want. You can have a Lamborghini. You can have a mansion in Tarzana, California. You can have a Lamborghini and a mansion. You can have anything you want, sis. What would it take for you?
Nothing. I was actually going to ask because it seems like one of the gifts that destroyed the heart was Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
They always talking about, and you hear Black people say that too. Had it not been for slavery, even, we'd have been Africa. That's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
But Christianity is what led them to the Lord, so to speak. So they look at Christianity like a gift, but at the same time, it's what has helped to separate our people from the Most High. It's taught us lawlessness. So it was like a gift that they say they blessed us with, what I mean, religion.
Right.
But that was the gift that I thought destroyed the heart.
All right, look, I would think of this like a newborn baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
A newborn things. What's that? You know what I mean? What can you give a baby? Can you give a baby Coca-Cola? No. What can you give a baby? Can you give a steak? What can you give a baby? A newborn baby, what can you give it?
Milk.
Milk? Milk?
Milk.
Or what?
That's fine.
Or pacifier. Now, when you give a newborn baby a pacifier, what happens? It stops crying for a second. But will it not cry anymore? Eventually that baby is gonna do what?
Right.
It's gonna cry again. Because it wants what?
Milk.
It wants the milk. When you think of Christianity, Christianity is that pacifier. Christianity is what soothes the way for us to get the milk. It's what calmed us down from slavery and getting raped, murdered, and lied to, and taken from our homeland, and all the oppression. I'm sorry about all the oppression that we went through for 400 years. They say, you know what? You need to stop crying right now. Here's Christianity. Take this. You understand? It's gonna calm you down a little bit, so we don't have any more Nat Turners, because Nat Turner was crazy. Nat Turner was a monster. You understand? Nat Turner was not a child of God. You understand? A child of God would have never done what Nat Turner did. So if you're thinking about doing something like Nat Turner did, you shouldn't do it, because you are a child of God. Are you not? Can I get an amen from the church? And hey, I better not say it. You understand? Kicked out. You understand? But that Christianity was that pacifier.
Right.
Them gifts was welfare. It was child support. It was Section 8. It was integration. Martin Luther King. You understand? The celebrities, Jackie Robinson. You understand? These things that made black people, those things that made you feel like we have a chance in America. The movie Pursuit of Happiness, that was a gift to black people. That was not a gift to white people. White people did not give a damn about that goddamn movie. That was for black people. That was for black people to be sitting on their couch. Just, what's that commercial that used to come on? Where the dude from what's that college? He was like Isupk college something. He was like, yo, I see you. The commercial.
Yeah, something like that. Little Romeo.
Yeah, it wasn't Little Romeo. No, it was the dude with the braids, man, with the white T-shirt. He'd be like, yo, I see you on your couch right now. Man, I was in the same place as you. Look, man, I'm telling you, you could get out here, get in your education. You understand? Some little college or whatever you're going to. But just like that, the Pursuit of Happiness was a gift for black people. You understand? Christianity was the pacifier. These gifts that the white man gives us is the milk for that baby. You understand? Christianity was not enough. A pacifier is not enough for a newborn baby. Eventually, it's going to keep crying. You understand? And with Christianity, you understand, we will keep crying. We will still look for equal justice. You understand? We will still look for equal rights. We would still want a leader to lead our people. That's why Martin Luther King was the worst goddamn gift that white people could have ever.
That's right.
You understand? Because he was like a goddamn ticking time bomb inside of our own house, and we let him in. And that gift that was wrapped so nicely, it was so beautiful. You understand? You should watch some of the documentaries. It'll make you thinking like Martin Luther King was actually a good man. Because it was so, the way they presented it, with a peaceful protest, and you understand, getting chewed up by dogs, and hosed and killed and in prison. That was just so beautiful. That's a joke. That was dumb as hell. That was the dumbest thing to ever do, to send your children out there to die. Right. It was the most idiotic buffoon act that I've ever seen committed by a leader in the Black, Hispanic, Native American community. Right. You should never do that. You should keep your children safe. You understand? You see that white people is out there shooting. They out there shooting all the black people. Hey, y'all lace up y'all boots. Y'all go out there and go get shot too. That shit is stupid. Speaking for my language. You understand? But that was the worst gift that, you understand, that white people could have given us. And then so read that scripture one more time.
Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad.
Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad. You should be able to see past these gifts, man. You should be able to see past these things that the white man chooses to give us to shut us up, man, so that we forget about slavery. So that we forget about 400 years of hanging and the lynch mobs and setting us on fires and oil and feathers, tar and feathers, that you forget about these things, man. So, you can focus on being the pursuit of happiness. You can focus on, living your life, you understand, to make it to retirement when you turn 66 years old. You understand? You put your focus on that instead of the focus on where it should be, which should be anger towards the so-called white man or any other nation for that fact. You understand? Keep reading.
And the gift destroyeth the heart.
And the gift destroyed the heart. The gift have destroyed the minds of blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You understand? Drop that. Give me give me Romans 12:1.
Romans. Sorry.
12:1. It's like you understand, the gift from the so-called devil, the oppressor, you understand, that was terrible for us. But of course, our Lord, Yahweh in the Hebrew, Most High God of the Israel, over the whole damn world, you understand, he gave us a gift as well. You understand, and this gift will not destroy the hearts or the minds of blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. This gift will, of course, uplift us, you understand, and take our rightful place over these heathens in this disgusting place called America. You understand? Read that up.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
That you present yourself, your bodies as living sacrifice. Who could break that down? What's that mean? Sis?
So I'm gonna say, is it saying that you're supposed to prove it? When it says your body's a living sacrifice, it used to be that sacrifice was something that was done to show that you were worthy. Sacrifice was given. So if your body is a living sacrifice, then you were supposed to show that in what you do, how you live. Is that what it's saying? And I mean, like in every way, like to not sin, to not do what we know is not proper or incorrect for us.
Okay. Who was the greatest sacrifice? Let's start there.
How was
Right. Is that?
Yeah, how was
Right, Jesus Christ. You understand? In the English. He was the greatest sacrifice. What did he do? What was so special? Like, brother's shaking in his boots now. He's thinking that I'm about to tell him to go outside and sacrifice himself. You understand? Christ didn't go outside and sacrifice himself. You understand? He didn't kill himself. So you understand? I know that they want to say that this is a cult. You understand? That's a cult. What they would do. What you guys say?
But he didn't kill himself physically, and he was born without sin. But like to the natural man, the people that we kill ourselves daily. That's a scripture. We kill ourselves daily. We killing out the sin in us. So
I'm listening.
when it comes to us, like with him, all he did, he followed the law, statutes, commandments. That's why he was perfect. So that we're supposed to be doing the same thing. We want to do what we want to do. We want to follow our flesh and then follow sin, basically.
I'm with you.
Because we fleshy. But at the same time, we're supposed to kill those parts of ourselves off. And that's when that discipline comes in. So we're not doing the things that's not expedient.
Okay. Christ was the greatest man that ever walked the face of the earth. Not simply because he was born without sin. Every brother and sister in here was born without sin. You understand? That's a Christian idea that you're born into sin. That's Christian nonsense. Every brother and sister in here was born. You did not smoke weed. You did not sin. A child cannot sin against the Lord. A child don't know what the hell it's doing. You Understand that our God is a just God. You understand? Christ wasn't the greatest man because he was born without sin. He was the greatest man because he was tempted and he sacrificed him wanting to submit to every temptation that the devil threw at him.
Right.
And he decided to, you understand, to do what? What we talked about earlier. We talked about, I said, when we brought up the scripture in Romans, it was in Proverbs 32, if I'm not mistaken. He was able to do what? We talked about the mighty man. Anger slowly, that was more about his anger, his temperament, but he was able to do what? What was the rest of that scripture? Which was to, remember we talked about the dogs, and all of you got dogs. You got a Shih Tzu, you got a Pit Bull. Control what? Very closest. You got it. To control his spirit. You understand? He was able to control his lust and his desires. He was able to control his emotions. He was able to control his actions. You understand? You're going to go out here in the world, and you're going to be tempted with every goddamn thing. You're going to be tempted with women. Women going to be, throwing themselves at you. You coming here, it's going to happen. You understand? They going to be, brother, like that. It's going to happen. You understand? Your friends going to, all of a sudden want to, you should come to the kickback, hit this blunt. It's going to happen. You understand? What'll make you like Christ is when you say la. You understand? What'll make you more like Christ is when you control your spirit enough to say, you know what, I'm not going to commit, I'm not going to do this. You understand? Because it goes against God. You understand? And that's how you begin to create a good, rapport with the Lord. That's how you begin, you understand, to have them angels start to writing down your names up there in heaven. Satan tempted him with this. He said lie. He did this. He said lie. He said lie. He said lie. You understand? That's how Job was. Job was a man who was saying lie to every goddamn thing. He was like smoking, nah. You understand? Horse, nah. Homosexual, nah. I ain't gonna do that. Pork, nah. I ain't gonna do that. Shrimp, nah. You understand? So Satan came to him and said, you understand? The only reason Job ain't failed yet because you got the hedges around him, meaning you protecting Job. So that's when the Lord said, all right, the hedges ain't there no more. And he went to go test Job. And Job still said, Job stood with the Lord. You understand? Even with all the blisters coming all over his body, you understand, couldn't talk for 7 days. Job and his wife, his wife running her goddamn mouth. You understand? Instead of just shutting her goddamn mouth, like the wife really wanted him to sin against the Lord. And he in there in blister saying, I'm going to have faith in the Lord. You understand? This a test. Of course, Job was a man who stood with the Lord. You should be a man after Job. You should be a woman who would stand with the Lord instead of falling for these devices, man, that Satan got set up for you. Instead of not being able to control your own spirits. Understand? Be able to control your own emotions and them things that tell you that you should do something. You understand? You should just shut that up. You understand that? Read that again.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God.
This is the man that you should be. Shalom, in Christ. This is the type of man that you should be. You understand? Holy, acceptable unto the Lord, man. Because keep watching everything you do. You understand? It's a misconception in the Christian church that being a child of God is what people see on that you're acceptable unto the Lord, when really you just disgusting. You understand? You're the most disgusting, wicked person walking the goddamn face of the earth. You understand? And the Lord will never accept that. But it's the things that you do when you think the Lord ain't watching. It's the things you do when you feel like the Lord really ain't with you. You understand? Is the Lord really real? When that weed smoke got you thinking, man, is there really a God? You understand? Is there really a Christ? How stupid am I to believe this? And then you go commit all kinds of atrocities and wicked acts, man. And then you'll sin. In that day, you'll know the Lord is real. You understand? You ain't got to take it from me. You ain't got to believe me. But in that day, when you decide to test the Lord in that way, of us in the world want to be that. And that's why in this truth, we got to learn how not to be that. Keep reading on.
Which is your reasonable service.
Which is your reasonable service in the Lord. It's reasonable for you to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. It's reasonable. Ain't it? Ain't it reasonable for you to just be a man and just get with a woman? And didn't the Lord give you the right to have more women, more than one? So ain't the Lord reasonable enough for you to not have to go be a homosexual?
Well,
You understand? You can have 2 wives, but yet you'd rather go sleep with some man. Disgusting. Ain't the Lord reasonable? You can't smoke weed, but he gave you wine and strong drink.
right.
Ain't that reasonable? You understand? For you to just not be wicked.
That's right.
For you to just not, eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. He gave you steak. Good night.
John.
He gave you steak, mashed potatoes, and gravy. Good night. The Lord gave you gravy, man. You understand? And asparagus and all this other goods. The Lord gave you pineapples and this. You understand? Like, the Lord is reasonable. You understand? What was that? Somebody said in the class when they was talking about Esau, where Esau gave his birthright because, he wanted that mesa pottage. He wanted that rare meat. You understand? Esau's a progenitor white man, but he wanted that rare meat. So Jacob said, all right, I'll give you this uncooked meat. You just gotta give me your birthright. And Esau did it. Somebody raised their hand and was like, couldn't he just go get an apple off a tree or some shit? You understand? Like, he was that goddamn hungry. He couldn't just eat like some goddamn fruit. I know some fruit growing somewhere, some vegetables, something.
Some bread.
There's some bread. Yeah, I know you know some goddamn bread and some rice. You understand? Some water. I've been hungry. You ever been hungry that you drink water? Been so hungry you just drink some water. You're like, damn, it worked. His stomach pain's gone for 10 minutes. You understand? You gotta find some more water. You understand? If you ain't got no more water bottles, then you'd be like, damn, I'm gonna just melt these ice cubes real quick. That's a struggle. If you ain't been there, you don't understand where you come from. But it's reasonable, man, but the white man is not a reasonable man. It's not reasonable. That's why he can enslave your people for 400 years and not give a damn. Not give you your 4 acres and a mule. Not give you, you understand, a really fair chance to strive here in America. Not give you a seat at the UN. Not give the Native American Indians a seat. Not give you any goddamn thing except the crumbs which fall from his table, man. He's not a reasonable man, but our God is. So it's very reasonable for us to be just men and women unto the Lord. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And be not conformed to this world.
And be not conformed to this world. What does that mean? What does it mean to not be conformed? What does it mean to conform to something, sis?
To to not be conformed means to be different, to strive to do other things than what is considered the norm, or those parts.
What does conform mean? You on it, but what does conform mean? That's another lesson that you'll learn, young men. You don't know the definition, you sis.
It says comply with rules, standards, or laws.
To comply with rules, standards, and laws. You understand? That's what it means to conform. You understand? 10 men, you a man of the Lord, and here 10 men surround you at the mall or in the parking lot, threatening to beat you up. You cannot do what? What can't you do? You crazy, I know you know. What can't you do? You got it? What can't you do?
Wow.
I mean, if your life is threatened like that, if you see a way out, think about it like that. Like if somebody pop out with a gun or a knife, and if you can run away, get the hell away. I'm not telling you to stand there and just die. You understand? But I'm talking about a situation where running away is not an option. You understand? Getting out of the situation, that's dead. You can't get out of it. You in it. You surrounded. You cannot do what? Brother, no. I thought you was crazy. Before you answer that, get that out of everybody's heads. The Lord created all things on earth, and all things has the right to defend itself. You go into the jungle and start messing with a lion, don't be mad when that lion tear your ass up. You understand? You go messing with a bee's hive, don't be mad when them beehives tear you up. Because the Lord gave them that right. That's why they do it. And they practice their right. You're not gonna take away their rights like the white man take away ours. They gonna practice it. They gonna sting you all goddamn day. Lord, you know what I'm saying? The water your house, I've never been stung by a bee. I pray that I never get stung by a bee. I be hearing that so many people be like, I got stung in the eye before. I be like, damn, the Lord ain't with you. I ain't never got stung, yo. And I ain't about to get stung neither. It's over for that. I'm too old. You understand? But go ahead, you can finish what you were saying.
You said, don't do what they tell you.
All right. We just said it. Read that scripture one more time from verse 2.
Romans chapter 12, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And be not conformed.
And the sis said that conform means to comply with rules to standards or laws. I said if you are surrounded by 10 men as a man in his truth, you cannot do what? Sis? Conform. You cannot comply to what they're saying. You cannot, you understand, yo, hey, young man, yo, take off your hoodie, yo. Take off your hoodie. Or we gonna do something to you. What can you not do? I hope you wouldn't take off your goddamn hoodie. I hope you wouldn't be on World Star getting stripped butt naked in the middle of the street. I hope you would not, because you damn sure cannot be in here doing this. You will not be in it. I will deny that. If a brother under me is ever caught on World Star getting stripped butt naked with his UPK gear, I'm denying that. That brother never stepped foot in this goddamn class. He did not learn under me. I don't know who that is. He got them clothes from somebody. He must have ordered it from Addictive Chaos or something and wore it out in the street thinking he was us. But he damn sure ain't us, because we cannot just conform. We cannot just comply. You understand? You have to stand there and teach every last single one of them the repercussions of what it means to even think about harming a brother or sister in this school. You understand? But you cannot conform, meaning you cannot comply with the laws. So back to the scripture saying you cannot comply with the laws of, keep reading.
And be not conformed to this world.
To this world. You understand? World meaning what? Age of society. You cannot conform and just be, you understand, adaptive to what's going on in the world. You know, it was a time not too long ago where homosexuality was looked at as like a mental disease or mental disorder. And that's what the world suggested, that it was sickening. You understand, which it was. But then over time, they started fighting for it, you understand? And then it became what? It became adaptable. What you got?
They changed the law in 1974. Like prior to 1974, homosexuality was a mental illness. In 1974, under Richard Nixon, they changed it.
Right.
And they made it something else.
Right. You understand? And it was, what you got, sis?
Slovakia, they do the same thing with pedophilia.
I was gonna get there. You understand? That's what she just brought up is the problem with conforming. You understand, to anything that's not of God. Because when you conform to, like, women see this the most when dealing with relationships in the world. Women are victims of this the most. Where they have a man, of course, not in the truth. They have just some wicked Jake in the world. They'll do, one thing that's like, off to them, but they don't really feel comfortable doing it, but because of their man, they'll do it. And the next thing, they conform to that. Then the next thing is something a little bit more intense. Then the next thing you're tied up in the basement, getting beat on. That's women, they experience that a lot. You understand, where you conform into something that's not of God. So of course there's no distance that it can't travel, just like with pedophilism coming in now. And as a Christian, you conform to something that was a mental disease before. You conformed and you complied with the laws of, you understand, something that was a sickness or disgusting before. So what you gonna say now? What is your excuse now? You understand? Before, homosexuality was a sickness and a mental disorder. Now, you understand, about a few years ago, pedophilism was a mental disorder or a sickness. But what you gonna say to the people that say, I was born this way? How you gonna hate me? How you gonna hate me, and you understand, but you don't hate homosexuals who doing something that you thought was a sickness too? That's the problem with this. That's why the Lord is saying you should never do this.
But
you should never conform. You should never, like, any brother here, make it big. You ever played football? You ever did interviews? If the question come up, you understand? What about homosexuality? You blah blah blah. You either one, don't answer the question, or two, you tell it straight like how it is. It's disgusting and an atrocity against God, and I'll never stand for it. You understand? You cannot conform to it. You understand? Keep reading.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You keep coming to these classes, that's exactly what's going to happen. Your grandma going to tell you you're being brainwashed, and she's absolutely correct. On your brain was a lot of tar, cigarette smoke, weed smoke, and bad habits. And now you're getting it washed off your goddamn brain to make you a man that is appeasing to the Lord. You understand? Keep reading.
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh.
In the will of God. You understand? You're gonna prove what you need. Just give us your mark. Just send the YouTube link to whoever he texts. You understand? Read that again, Salaki.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
So when you go out here in the world, you have to be this man. When you go out here in the world, you got to be this sister. You understand? You got to deal with the women in the world and the friends that you got and the life that you used to live, and you have to be the example for them. You understand? You have to be that flagship for them. You got to be that person they say, man, look at that sister, look at this brother, man. She not the same. You understand? She don't do the same things no more. You understand? Like, she completely 360 kick flipped her whole life around. You understand? And she not doing this. And they still gonna come and test you. They still gonna wanna, ease their way in. They still gonna wanna, you're gonna find this a lot. Your friends will wanna recall a lot of memories you had together. They're gonna wanna start doing that. They're gonna wanna start, you remember that time, man, we was in that kickback and you brought that whole pound of that good weed, that Gorilla Glue with you. You understand? Yo, man, where you get that from? Who, you never told me. They gonna wanna start doing that, man. Your homeboys gonna start to remember, make you weak. They try to make you think about how good times were, where you can just go home and lay up and smoke a blunt and be in your closet with the shower on and just look, the sister, look, you falling for it already. Good night. You understand? But you got to be the person that fights against all of that. You got to be the person that, you understand, won't conform to them thoughts that they trying to put in your head. They got to be like a block wall. You understand? They got to be like, yo, man, you remember, man, we used to pop them Xannies or whatever you used to do. You got to be like, yeah, that was disgusting. You understand? Like, that's disgusting. You should never do that again. No, man, I'm just saying, man, I'm just saying about the times we used to have, and them times were disgusting. Now. You understand? That was nasty. You understand? You should never do that again before you get hurt. You see what just happened in Juice WRLD. You understand? I hope that don't happen to you all. But I can't bid you Godspeed if you're going to continue to live this life. You understand? Man, what you saying, dog? What you not my homeboy? Like, no, I am your homeboy, man. But you understand? I love God more than anything that you got going on right now. So if you're going to continue to do that, then I guess we just got to distance ourselves. It takes a strong man to do that. And it also takes a what? What did Christ do? He was the greatest at doing it. You all do it. You come in here and you do it. You could be at home. I mean, you could be at home with a bottle, with your rib, with your husband. You understand? You could be doing anything, but you in here doing what? Sacrificing. You understand?
Right.
It takes a lot of sacrifice to be in here. It takes a lot of sacrifice to be that new person to that brother or that sister that you used to call a friend. It takes a lot of sacrifice to look your grandma in the eye and tell her you don't know a goddamn thing about the Bible. It takes a lot of sacrifice because you love her. It takes a lot of sacrifice to say that to your mother. It does. You understand? But you got to be that man. You got to be the man that tell you, you understand, you married to an African. You married to a Hamite, you gotta be the man that's gonna tell her the truth. You understand? Because otherwise, you're not giving her the same love that Christ gave us.
Right.
You understand? And the scriptures say, you understand, you gotta love one another just like Christ loved the church. You understand? If you're not loving us the same way Christ, loved us, then you really ain't loving nobody. You're not loving them in the world. You hate your mom, you hate your grandma if you let her believe that what she believes in the Christian church is the truth. You hate her, man. If you don't tell her, like, yo, you need to sit down and understand and read this. You need to watch these classes. You hate her if you don't do that, because you'll continue to let her serve the so-called man that's killing her people, man. You'll continue to let her serve the so-called God that has ordained his people to kill us. You understand? And that's hate, man. That's hate according to the Bible, man. When you won't be that pillar for your family. You understand? You won't be that man that has great reproach with the people, that can, go out here and take and conquer cities, man, conquer neighborhoods and conquer communities, man, and have people to follow him. You understand? Which, of course, will make them follow the Lord. You got to be that sacrifice, man. Keep reading up.
Verse 3. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think.
Not to think himself more highly than he ought to think. You understand? Don't think that you're the man. Don't think that, just because you got up in here, got some rank, you understand, you passed Hebrew Academy, you understand that you just all this, that you just almighty. At the end of the day, you're a brother. You understand? You should never be a type of brother that chases rank. You understand? You should never be that type of brother, because I tell you one thing, rank is meant for one thing and one thing only, and that's order. That's it. You understand? I give you a story. You got 4 brothers who all come into the truth together. They all start their 90 days together, but you always had that one brother who they always kind of looked up to. That one brother who was always like, yo, you know what? We should get the boots, man. Let's come together, get the boots. Let's come together. Let's get the shirt. Let's get this. Let's do this. And they all like, okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. You understand? You always got that one man that, you understand, they didn't say was the leader, but always the man who was willing to get things done. And they just kind of follow. You understand? You follow me? They come in here, you understand, they all get their name, they all troopers. But this brother is still the one who was like, you know what, man, we can do more. Let's do this, let's do that, man. Let's see if we can raise some funds, man, to get some new clothes for us for the school. Let's see if we can help with the feast. Let's see if we can buy some chairs for the classes. You got that one brother. Now check this. Say one of those other brothers pass their test first, becomes a 5 or 50. You understand? And goes and becomes a 500. And you got that one brother who had that zeal, who was doing it. He's a 50. That 500 will still look up to him. He will. He'll do it. Because that brother, that rank don't stop nothing, man. And that 500 should look up to him. You understand? I look up to Thabawan when it comes to this Lashawan Kodash, and I'm a higher rank than Thabawan. You understand? Because he definitely does it way better than me. You understand? He hold that Monday class down faithfully for months when I couldn't do what I was doing. You understand? When I couldn't do what I was supposed to do. You understand? So you should never be that brother to think that just because you got a number beside your name, that you all that. You understand? Because the Lord will surely remove you. The Lord will surely see to correct. You understand what should be corrected.
That's right.
You understand? So when you coming up in here, there's a lot of brothers in here, you understand? I ain't gonna say that, but there's a lot of men who will feed off of rank. You understand? Even in the world, they feed off of that title. You understand? Because they believe it gives them a certain stature. I'm telling you, man, it's troopers in here that can move mountains.
Right.
You understand?
That's right.
There's troopers in here that can come in here and build every goddamn thing you see on this wall.
Right.
When we sitting up in here with officers of 5,000s, captains, officers of 1,000s and 500s and 50s, and every goddamn thing you see, that TV hanging up, trooper. This thing right here, trooper. Them blinds, trooper. Every sign up there, trooper. The paint on the wall, trooper. Them saint symbols, trooper. You understand? So don't ever think that just because, I did this or I'm this, I'm the man. You're not the man.
Right.
There's a trooper under you that's the man. You understand? And before all of that, Christ is the real man. He the only man. You understand that? So remember that too. Keep going.
But to think soberly, According as God has dealt to every man the measure of faith.
God deals with you for your work, man. Faith without work is dead. You understand? So you gotta think sober. Think clear-minded. You understand about everything that you do. That's how you become a man of the Lord that is appeasing to the Most High. You understand? And you're not the type of man who's got your mind cluttered off a rank, and you understand, and you want to have all the ribs in the class because you think you the man, and all of this. You want to break protocol and just, screw this. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Don't ever be that type of brother.
Right.
That type of brother, you understand, for one, you really don't know what you're getting yourself into. You understand? You should slow down.
Right.
You understand that? And you really don't understand how the Lord works and how this truth works, man. I've seen brothers come into this school, you understand, and were so strong. They were so strong, so zealous, so ready to come into the classes and get the headbands and ready for take their test. And then don't ever come back no more. Where they at? You understand? They thought too highly of themselves.
Right.
You don't want to be that brother. Be humble. You understand in everything that you do. Read that from the top one more time.
For I say, to the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as God has dealt to every man.
Right. You understand? That's
The measure of faith.
That's just the mindset that a man of the Lord has to have. All right, drop that. Give me Proverbs 29 and 11. Again, if anybody got any questions on the chat or in the room, just raise your hand. Get to it. Actually, drop that. Give me 2 Corinthians 6 and 3. Salaki.
Second Corinthians what?
6 and 3.
6 and 3.
Yeah. Well, this guy, I was gonna call you in like 5 minutes. Yeah, I see you on it. That's how it goes. So. You got it? Giannis, you got it for me?
Yeah.
Kind of. If you can read that for me, Bob.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 3. Giving no offense in anything that the ministry be not blamed.
Hold on. Read it from the top. So
Giving no offense in anything.
Giving no offense in anything. We're just talking about. This is still talking about a type of brother you should be in the truth. You understand? Of course, we in here, we hardcore. We go a little hard on Christians. You understand? But you don't want to give an offense of anything. Meaning you don't want to go out here in the world and just start offending brothers. You don't want to be at your slave and, you understand, a sister start acting out towards you and you just start, chopping her head off with a dull blade. You don't want to start doing that. You understand? You want to be the type of person that does not give offense to anybody. You understand? You don't want to call them the B word and this the word. Dad, you understand? You ain't nothing but a Christian B. You ain't never gonna be nothing because, of course, you're doing an injustice to the truth. You understand? Because they'll never come in here. If they feel like, the people in that class hate me, why would I come in here? That's the difference between Isupk and everybody else. You understand? We know that our brothers in the world are still our brothers, whether they're in the world or not. The sisters in the world are still our sisters, whether they are in the truth or not. You understand? And you got to treat them as such. You understand? Don't treat them like the white man treats us. Treat them like a brother. You understand? That don't mean being an idiot. That don't mean just open up your door like you would to brothers. Like, brothers in here got keys to my house. My own family members don't got keys in my house because I'm not stupid. You understand? I'm not an idiot. You got to subtle, wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. You understand that? So you gotta be smart in what you do, but at the same time, be brotherly to them, man. Be sisterly to them. Talk to them politely. Use polite words. You understand? So, no sweats. If you believe that Christ is white, no sweats. Just, I gotta go. That's it. Sometimes I know I'm terrible at that. When I get into it, I'm a different breed though, man. I don't lie. And then I tell them, I like that kind of stuff, man. I'm working on that myself. You understand? But you want to be the type of person, man. You can just be polite to a type of brother or sister, man. Be nice to them. You understand it, but still get your point across. You understand? I remember I was talking. Whenever I had an issue with a brother in the area, say I'm at a party and he in the house. You understand? I'll look at him serious and say, "Have a nice day. Have a nice day." So he go to anybody and say, like, "Yo, what he tell you, man? What he gonna say?" He told me, "Have a nice day." But I thought you said y'all about to fight. We was, nah. But he just told you have a nice day. Like that's you being polite, bro, so you can never cause offense to anybody. You understand? But you still get your point across. That's the skill that you gotta build. You understand? You gotta work on that. You gotta be in situations sometimes where you get mad and then nah, but you thought it was cute to post it. You understand? Oh, so now it's have a nice day this. No, I'm just telling you to have a nice day. You trying to be smart. No, sis. They gonna get mad at you. You understand? Because they ain't gonna know what to do. They don't know how to counteract that. Like, how do you counteract somebody who's telling you have a nice day? What the hell you do? Other than just walk away. Understand ain't nothing that you can do for real. But you should practice that, man, so that you be sure to not cause offense to people out here in the world. You understand? Which finish reading that, Trooper, Baba Kachuk.
That the ministry be not blamed.
That the school be not blamed. You don't want to be out here being that person that they say, "Nah, I ain't on that thing, man. They out here, man. I seen so-and-so, cursing out and about to beat up so-and-so on the block last night. I ain't going up there. They teaching you how to be a cult leader. For real. You understand? That's ISIS. I seen them. You understand? With the turbans on, man. One of them had a gun on his hip. And I seen them carrying bombs in there. And they got drugs too. You know, because if it's believable that for the one thing, it opens up every goddamn thing. They see you yelling at some crackhead on your face. You understand? They gonna play ISIS in that. You understand? That's how it happens. That's why you gotta be careful. Especially dealing with these people out here. You gotta be careful. You gotta say what you're trying to say, mean what you say, but be careful not to offend. Be careful that they cannot go back and say that you said anything offensive. You understand? You want them to leave, you say, "Hey, brothers, man, sisters, man, if y'all don't mind, we gonna have traffic coming through here, man. If y'all don't mind, if we could clear this area." You understand? Really, you tell them to get fuck on. You understand? Really, that's what you're saying. But you're saying in a way that they can never say that. They have to say naturally confrontational. They want to have peace just like we want to have peace. So you got to be the ones that brings that peace to these people. Because everybody else in their life is going to bring warfare. Everyone else in their life is going to bring harm and tormentation and bring hell upon them. Everyone else is going to shoot them with BB guns because they're homeless. Everyone else is going to make jokes about them and do all kinds of stuff that we do to these people out here just because they're broken. You can't add on to that pain. You don't want to add on to the pain that they already going through. You want to lift that pain up off of them. And talking to somebody can lift that pain up off of somebody. You understand? You go into the grocery store and you see a sister in there working hard. You ask the sister, how's your day going? You understand? How you doing? You doing all right? I ain't no sweat. You understand? That'll make her remember when somebody talking bad about the school, they gonna say, nah, hell nah. You talking that gibberish. I don't know what they teach, but them some nice boys. Them nice boys, they come in here almost every day and don't cause no trouble. They ask me how I'm doing. Don't none of y'all niggas ask me how I'm doing unless you want some money. That's exactly what's gonna happen. And that's for the lack
of God.
You gotta prove yourself to be a man of the Lord. You gotta prove yourself to be a woman of the Lord in everything that you do. You understand? Keep reading.
In much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distresses.
You gotta do it even when your times is hard. You understand? Even when you think that your back's against the wall, you gotta do it. You gotta be this type of person. You understand? I'll take it even so much to an extent that, of course, we train in Hebrew Academy. Even if you face to face with confrontation with somebody, you still be just like this. You understand? I don't gotta act emotional. You want to be in my face, I know that there's a chance you might swing on me or something. I don't gotta get emotional like a woman and I can still be respectful. And I'll respectfully whoop your ass as soon as you try me. You understand? That's it. I'll respectfully ask you to get out my face 100 times, if that's how many times it takes. And then as soon as you be the man that when people look back on that, you understand, they gonna say, nah, it was that nigga wrong, man. He was doing too much. He was doing too much. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yanazar was just chilling in the chair. I guess Jerome bumped into him. Jerome, drunk ass, you understand, was select from the language, started yelling at him, got up, pulled out a gun. And Yanazar was just kind of chilling there, man. Yeah. Then the dude tried to hit Yanazar. Yanazar, of course, defended him. So, yeah, officer, it won't happen. You understand? You want to be that person, man, who handles that and not talk about it too goddamn much. I don't want to run your mouth. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 5. In stripes, in imprisonment.
And in stripes and in imprisonment. You understand? Don't be afraid to go to jail. You understand? Don't let that put fear in your heart. Don't be afraid to go to prison. A lot of people ain't faced with that type of thing, man. But when you come, it's not a good feeling at all. It's not. I'll just be honest with you. It's something that'll make your stomach drop. You understand? You feel like everything is just bad with you. You understand? But don't be afraid of that. You understand? You lucky enough. Luckily, if you in the truth, you know that you won't be fearful of that, man. Because going to prison, we already in prison, man. Like it ain't. Don't be fearful of that. When you go in prison, you still do the same thing that you do out here and there. You be the exact same way. You go raise up that whole goddamn yard. You have cell block B going to bed when you tell them niggas to go to bed. If that's how you gonna do it, you understand? You raise up every goddamn body in that prison. You make the prison a better place. Imagine if the brothers in prison wasn't the truth. Going to prison would be a breeze. I'm going to 5 years. Shit, I'm going about to be here with my niggas. You understand? I'm about to be up in here with my niggas. And them crackers ain't doing nothing because we out ruling them in the prison any goddamn way. They want to lock us all the way up. They ain't know that Isupk, the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans and the niggas was going to get together. So you ain't got to worry about no white man. White man who? You understand? Nazi who? Skinhead who? Stuck to who? Ain't gonna happen. Imagine that. You wouldn't give a damn about no goddamn speeding ticket. Like, take me to jail. My niggas is in jail. I got officers and troopers and captains in jail. You understand? Not saying that we gonna be the ones going to jail, but I'm saying if the truth was proliferated in there and they were raised up in there, those brothers serving life sentences and things like that. You understand? Imagine that. This is what these scriptures is talking about, man. You got to be the man that go in there. The same man that's telling you to be to take over cities. You got to be the type of man that are going to Bowie 1 or Bowie 2 up in Virginia and take that shit over. You got to take that over. You got to go into Mecklenburg County and take it over. You got to. You got to, because you don't got no other choice. Because you can't do what? I'm gonna keep going back to this because this is I like this scripture. I love this part about UPK, that you cannot do this. What can you not do? Conform. You cannot conform. You cannot comply just because the scary prison dude, you understand, tells you to give your apple up. You can't give your apple up. Right. You gotta keep your apple. You gotta eat your apple. You gotta say, brother, I'll give you half of this apple, but you're gonna get the hell out of my goddamn face if you want it. You can come to class. You understand? I'll share it with you, but you can't just give up your apple. You can't. You got to let him know the repercussions of dealing with of even thinking about threatening, the man of the Lord. And you got to do that even while you're in prison, even when you think you're by yourself, even when you think you're impoverished, even when you think you're poor, even when you think you got nothing else going for yourself. When you think the whole world is just after you, same way that Job stood. You understand that? Keep reading.
Verse 6. In stripes and imprisonments, in tumults, in labors.
But you're a slave. You understand? Keep reading.
In watching things.
In watching and in fasting. You got to stay the same person. You understand? Give me, let me see. Give me Proverbs 20. Whoa, who was holding something before that? Were you holding something before I called that out? Give me Proverbs 24.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Answer not a fool according to his folly.
Sis, good.
To not respond the same way they respond. If somebody cussing you out, you don't have to respond with the same foolishness and cuss them back out. It's like you just saying earlier. You're supposed to respond according to how the Most High would have you to respond, how Christ would respond.
Right, you in the truth. You know the truth. You've been taught how to act, you know, how not to act, what to eat, what not to eat. You know the mysteries of life. You understand? You've been gifted by the Lord with that. When you take that, you understand, and argue like, how can I put this? It's almost like, how many of y'all seen Star Wars? Probably jumping the gun asking this. Oh, y'all have?
You mean the new one?
Nah, just in general.
Oh, yeah.
Not the new ones, I mean the old ones. The old one, y'all seen Star Wars. So y'all know what a Jedi is, right? All right. What's one of them little weak things, man? What's something weak on Star Wars? Ewoks. Ewok. Okay. Imagine seeing a Jedi arguing with an Ewok. That Jedi would look like a fool. Or if it's arguing with a droid or some nonsense like that, the droid sitting there speaking robot language, whatever they speak, and the Jedi sitting there arguing with the droid, the Jedi looks like a fool. And that's exactly how you look. You understand? Remember the scenario I gave with the brother with Yanazar in the party. You understand? With Dre, you know, bumping his gums, wanting to get mad and pulling out the gun and trying to fight, and then Yanazar just kicks his ass. You understand? That other brother looks like the fool. But imagine if Yanazar was doing the same thing. Then they would say what? They would say they'd be a bunch of fools. They would say a couple of drunk fools fighting each other,
Right.
always doing the most. We can't just come out here and party without some fools
Right.
messing up the party. That's what they would say. That's why I say that discipline is everything, man.
Right.
Being disciplined, having control over your spirit is everything. You understand? So you don't be made out here to look like a fool, because you will. You understand? You think you won't. You'll think that just because you in the truth and you know what you're talking about, that everything you saying makes sense. But I'm gonna tell you something. People don't give a damn about what you talk about. They give a damn about what you talk about when you sit in this seat, or when you stand up on that podium, or when you're in a debate or holding a lecture. That's when people care about what you're talking about. When you out here in the world, people can care less about what comes out your mouth. They want to see what you do. You can talk all that Hebrew Academy nonsense in here all day. They want to see if you do it. They want to see if you circled by 10 men. They gonna watch. They gonna say, I remember that nigga was talking about that 10 men not conforming. Look at him taking off his clothes. Look at him. Look, I ain't never going to that class. You understand? You look like a fool. Don't play yourself to be a fool. You understand? That's why coming into this truth, it ain't for everybody. Some people should go to IUIC. You understand? That would be the best thing. You can go to IUIC, and if 10 people circle you up, they can take your purple off and leave you in your drawers, and nobody will say nothing, and you can go home, and your wife will comfort you because you made the right decision, because you made the smart decision to take off your clothes and keep your life. You understand? That's what you can go be in IUIC and do that.
Right.
But in here, we will not be made the fool.
Right.
In here, we will not be made the coward. And here we are only going to be one thing and one thing only, and that's men of the Lord.
Right.
You understand? And the man of the Lord, of course, cannot conform or comply with any law that is not according to the Most High God. You understand that? So don't go out here and make yourself to be a fool. You understand? Because people watch what you do. Everything you do out here, they look at. They look at They look at the way you walk. They look at the way you talk. They look at the way you move, the way you dress. You understand? The way you carry yourself. You understand? The way you in the club. What kind of food? Like, what do you do? They looking at everything because they know that you're right. You understand? They're not looking at you because you're wrong. We don't look at, nobody looks at homosexuals as like, yo, is that the right way of life? Maybe I should look at them more. Nobody does that. You understand? They look at you because they know that you're right. They don't look at Christians. Nobody's out here looking at the Crips and Bloods and like, man, maybe I should be a Christian. Maybe I should. Look at them killing each other. Ooh, look at that. They done killed 2. Maybe I should go to church. Nobody does that. Look at the way he pearled that blunt. Man, I bet they learned that in Sunday school. Maybe I should go there. Nobody does that, man. You get my point. But the point is, go out here, man, and carry yourself as a man of the Lord, and carry yourself as a sister of the Lord, man. You understand? Don't be out here being jealous, man, and you know, you coming in here, and, you know, like with multiple wild things, man. You wanna be UPK in the classrooms. In the feast, you want to be UPK.
Right.
In the feast, you want to be con. Yes, sir. Yes, my Lord. Yes, my whatever the hell you call your husband. You want to be that in here. But the second you go home, you take off. It's like you take off the clothes. Then you take off everything that made you beautiful. Right. And that dragon comes out. Right. And so I just thought it was cute that you was talking to that bitch. You was talking to that bitch. You understand? I'm the only bitch you should be talking to. You understand? You want to go back home and just be a goddamn dragon. You understand? That's why I said maybe you should go to IUIC. You understand? Maybe you should be with some other group and get some husband somewhere else. Because I tell you what the hell happened if you try that with me. I know what's going to happen when you try that with Tapawan. Right. You understand? I know what's going to happen. That is, I'm a goddamn slay the dragon. I'm going to chop the head off that. Like, be gone with you. Right. You understand? But you don't want to be that sister neither, because at the end of the day, people don't care about what you're talking about in these classrooms. They don't care about that. They care about what you do. Right. They care about you coming to work the next day and gossiping and running your goddamn mouth. Right. You understand? You don't even know how to get in an argument and not tell no goddamn body. But you got your job, like, yeah, man, I got a fucking argument, man. I'm tired of this nigga. Oh, and they act so consoling. You know what I'm saying? They act so concerned, and they just want to sit back and say, hey, look, I'm about to take my smoke break. Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come with me while I go smoke this cigarette? And they go outside with you, and they, you know what I'm saying? And you hold just an ounce of integrity to say, nah, sis, I'm good. While you sitting in there breathing all that smoke in, while any other day you would be like, I can't do this because I've been flipped 360, turned upside down, and changed my life. I can't be with you if you're doing this. Right. But because your heart is broken, just a little bit, because your husband was interacting with another female, the UPK leaves. You understand? The truth leaves you. You understand? Everything you learn about Christ and what Christ sacrificed for, everything you learn about all them classes, it just goes out the door and you become a dragon. Right. And so you find yourself talking to some woman who's smoking weed in your face, who seems like she's compelling, right, and wants to, comfort you. And really, she just wants to smoke her cigarette, one. And for two, she wants to get a good story about how them cult leaders is really a cult. Right. And how you should have listened to me. See, I told you that Daquan, see, he ain't perfect, but girl, at least he getting money. Right. At least he getting money. You understand? You gonna look, I told you, girl, you gonna go through the same shit with any man. So it don't even matter. You might as well get you one that make you happy. And at that moment, you forget every goddamn thing that man ever did to make you happy. Right. You forget about every goddamn thing. You forget about the times you laid on his chest when you were sad.
Right.
You forget about the times he comforted you when you was mad at your job.
That's
You
right.
forget about the times he told you how to deal with that very same sister who was bothering you at your job.
That's
When
right.
you wanted to talk for 2 goddamn hours about the same sister trying to blow cigarette smoke in your face.
Right.
You forget about all of that just because you weren't in the truth enough.
That's right.
And that's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem. You weren't in the truth. You was in the classrooms.
Right.
You understand? But your heart and mind and soul and desire was not with the Lord.
That's
and
right.
it damn sure won't with your husband.
That's right.
You understand? Because if it was with your husband, then it wouldn't matter if your husband was talking to another woman. Why? Because if you love God, you understand? And your husband is in the truth and he's serving God, then you wouldn't have no problem staying with him forever for any goddamn reason.
That's right.
You understand? That should be the only goddamn
That's
thing. You understand? Is that you love God and you the truth. You understand? You should leave it at that. You should leave it at that. You understand? And try this. Try counting your blessings.
Right.
Try that. That's a Christian term, but why don't you try it just one time? Why don't you try to? You should just, like, women in their spare time, so you got, and again, I'm not just coming, this, of course, I'm not talking about sisters in the truth. This, of course, is about women who are not so much in the truth and definitely in the world. But in your spare time, you should take the time out of your day and just go look up news articles about women who's getting abused. You should go look up how many women in the same neighborhoods that you live in is being abused, them caught their husband sleeping with a man. You understand? What's some other things, man? How many women is getting beat on? How many women is getting made to be whores? How many women is actually out here with husbands who whore them out? You should think about those sisters, man. You should think about those sisters and think about how disgusting you are of a woman to even think in your head that you don't want to be with this man, not because he did anything like that, but because he wants to be that king for someone else.
Right.
Because he wants to be that king for that sister who did get molested by her man or got beat on by her man. You understand? Because she wants to find a husband as powerful and as strong as you. She wants a king like you got one.
Right.
And the Lord ordained it, man. And if you love the Lord, then you wouldn't have no problem with that. You understand? If you have a problem with that, then you hate God.
That's right.
That's it. That's the end all be all. Like, nobody told you that this was easy. Nobody said that Job's triumph over Satan was easy. Them boils didn't feel good. It didn't look good. It didn't feel good hearing his wife bitch and complain every goddamn day about him having faith in the Lord, even though the Lord was tormenting him. It did not feel good. It don't feel good for us. Coming in here is not a goddamn breeze.
Right.
Having to check in, having to call brothers, having to do stuff you've never done before, being placed out of your comfort zone, having to get up on a mic with stage fright and still blaze and call the white man the devil to his face.
Sure.
Doing something you've never done before. It don't feel good. Having to give up your friends in the world, having to give up your family, having to tell your grandma to her face that she don't know a goddamn thing about the Bible. I said it earlier, but we got to do it because we love God.
Right.
And if God loves that, then I love it.
That's right.
If the Lord is with that, then I'm with it.
Right.
You understand? If the Lord don't want me to comply and he don't want me to take my clothes off just because I'm circled by 10 men, then guess what the hell I'm going to do? I'm going to shut my goddamn mouth.
That's right.
And I ain't complying to not a goddamn thing. You understand? A woman should just learn to love God.
Right.
A sister in the truth loves God, just like a man in the truth should. You understand? That's how you should be, man. That's the way you should carry yourself. Be UPK here, UPK out there.
Right.
Because people don't give a damn what you say. I promise you. Nobody, no brother in Durham who has ever, you understand, said anything about the changes that they've known for the brothers that made it here, like our rock. You understand? They never said, yo, man, you know, I heard what our rock said, man. And you know what? I've never heard it.
Right.
But they damn sure say, man, y'all look scary. Y'all look like brothers who ain't to be messed with.
Right.
Oh, yo, you gonna do the same stuff that you used to do, man. What you want? You understand? At the gas station, man, yo, I don't see you around no more, man. What you be on? Yo, I've been in class at ISUPK. They not saying that because they heard me say so. Of course, they never heard it. But they see how you carry yourself.
Right.
You understand? And that woman at your job who you feel is compelling and comforting you, she will see how you carry yourself, even with dealing with something like that, and she'll be intrigued. She'll be intrigued with how you can love a man so damn much. You know what she'll say. Women do it all the time. They say, damn, you understand what kind of man she got? You understand? You tell that sis, why don't you come find out? We got classes every Monday through Friday at 7 to 9 p.m. You understand? Online and in person. Why don't you come get you one?
Right.
You understand? Come get you one. That's what you should be, man. You should be that pillar, man. You should be that flyer everywhere you go. You understand?
Right.
That's all that you should do, and that's what you should focus on.
Right.
With that, we'll pass the class over to Precinct Officer 501.